Hello there, peoples of the internet. Cater Dawn here, and welcome to this guide of Global's FeoDs. There's currently 8 of them. There's more to come, about 10, but JB could get more, so who knows. But anyways, this is kind of like a guide to help people who need assistance in the FeoDs, because these are pretty tough. Rewards are worth it, but the battles are pretty tough. You have to be extra conservative. You have to know what you're getting yourself into, and always read the enemy's descriptions. It's very useful. Anyways, let's begin. Tier 1. Main gimmick of this, you're not allowed to use magic. Not allowed to use magic. Nothing's that much of a threat here. I say that. You have mini dragons, just kill those really fast. Your biggest threat, in my concern, is the Prominence, Rydia's boss. This guy hits like a gas truck. Well, I wouldn't say he hits like a truck. It's his Big Bang attack that actually gets to you, because that thing hits hard. For your battle aspect, which is kind of like the game's saying like, hey, this is kind of how you counter him. Bring party members who can heal and withstand the HP damage from the group HP attack Big Bang, because this thing attacks based off his max brave, and it hurts like a gosh darn truck. Past that, you get one more round, and then Lunatic King Behemoth. He's a bit terrifying with his gyro tail and meteor. Those things hit pretty hard. Your battle aspect, just bring party members who can heal damage from meteor and gyro tail. Funny thing is that if you got enough DPS, you can actually kill the behemoth before it actually gets one of those off. And then you've got the Humbaba, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's not terrible. He has needle shots and group Thundagas and stuff like that. It's not that big of a deal. Your battle aspect just Humbaba breath delays a single target. Lower Humbaba's brave, speedy party members. Team comp I brought to this was Locke, Ramza, and Irvine. Locke, because he's actually got really good DPS, and one of his skills, I believe, is Steal Items skill. When you use it, it'll remove a buff, it'll cancel whatever, and then give him one of his things. But if you enhance that, it will actually grant. If you enhance it, if I can find it, if you enhance it, you can actually reduce the target's brave by half, so it helps with the bomb. Ramza is here because he's got really good auras and his support's really nice. And then Irvine because he's kind of like your DPS. Plus, him and Locke can help with the healing. Tier 2. This stage is primarily focused on purely magic. You're only allowed to use magic characters. Onion Knight is here. I'll explain that in a second why he's there. Round 1. Kill the Coil, or however you pronounce it. This guy is painful because he's got Bioga, which can poison. Erase Shot is not that big of a deal. Confuse is a pain because it sucks. Blaster, which is if he's standing up. He's usually low to ground, which is like lying down, I guess. But once he stands up, he can inflict Blaster, which inflicts paralysis. It's not good. Your battle aspect, bring a party member who could draw the enemy's attention and keep Confuse off the others. That's why Celius is here. She has a lock system. Lunatic Skull Wizard, he's not that big of a deal. It's his Candle of the Wind, which just instantly breaks him out of break. His battle aspect, after a warning, Candle in the Wind will deliver HP damage. Bring party members who can heal it before it hits. Celius, if she's locked on, she can heal it. No one else in here can really heal. I do have the orb from Rosa, but I'm saving that for someone else. Rest of the stage, it's just running into Magic X Armors, Chasers, and the Sweepers. Their final round is against Celius's bosses, the Excel Turbo. Celius absolutely demolished this thing, obviously, because it has like 5 magic attacks, if I'm correct. Magic X Beam, Excel Beam, Hyper Beam. That's 3 attacks. Magic X Scatter and Volley, which don't do anything to Celius. Battle Aspect, bring a party member who can withstand its many single target attacks against someone like Celius. Lunatic Griffin, take this thing out as fast as you can. Reason being, for its one move, the Feather Cologne, which has a really low chance of inflicting Charm. Charm's not good, considering the fact that it's a paralysis and a sap. So, if your party member gets hit with Charm and, say, has 20,000 Brave, roughly, let's assume, it'll take about 10,000. So, it's not good. Everything else is not terrible. Battle Aspect, becoming Charmed can spell disaster, end the battle as quickly as possible. Kill the thing as fast as you can. Team setup I brought to this was Onion Knight because of his Ice Imperil in Blizzard Enchant, which helps everyone with his Ice Imperil stuff. Celius because she can tank, and draw everything to her. She can heal herself. And then we bring Sierra for battery and debuffs. It does help a lot to have poison and her EX's ability, which if I remember, I don't exactly remember what it's called, but Ultima Arrow inflicts Goddess's Light, which is another version of poison. Very useful. Alright, Tier 3 is the bane of all FeoDs as of the moment. Wait till we get to Burst, it's going to get a lot worse. Tier 3, the main gimmick of this is to bring debuffers and dispellers. So, like, first few stages are fine. When you get to stage 3, I believe, you go against a Lunatic Lich, which is kind of a pain in the butt because he has Curse, which cuts down Max Brave, Death Cutter, which inflicts Doom, not very useful. He's also got some other stuff. I've never seen Death Squall before, but that does inflict poison. The battle aspect, Call of the Abyss grants multiple buffs. Force them out or remove them to stay on the offensive. That's why Vincent is here, because he's got great debuff. The Marilith, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kill this thing as fast as you frickin' can. This thing will kill your whole party in one go. It's because of Flash of Steel. It'll increase its brave and then group range everyone. Mustard Bomb, it hurts, but fire resist down is not good. Rolling Flame, look at all those buffs. Initial brave, defense, attack, speed, max brave, and a fire enchant. If you got Mustard Bombed, I'd recommend getting that off immediately. That aspect, Rolling Flame gets multiple buffs, force them out, or remove them. Again, why Vincent's here. 4th round's not fine. 5th round, you go against the normal Kraken. The normal Kraken. He's fine. It's a bit annoying to fight him, because sometimes he could, like, just constrict you and one-shot you if he breaks, but, yeah. And Unbind gives him a million buffs, as you can tell. Unbind gives him speed, raises his turn rate, gets attack, defense, initial brave, and critical rate up. It's not useful. Unbind grants multiple buffs, just make sure to force them. Kill the Tiamat first, in my personal opinion, because he likes to burst down your whole party with AoE HPs. With stuff like, Poison Mist, so he's got Fire Breath and Firestorm. It's not that big of a deal, you can tank it. Poison Mist, Toxic Mist, Poison is horrible. Thunderbolt is not good, because it has a good chance of inflicting paralysis. Make sure you avoid that in some way. Malastorm, it gets rid of everyone's buffs. It's not good for Vincent. Jetfire and Jet Burst are both HP attacks. They are not fun to deal with. And Charge gives him defense up, attack up, max brave up. And Mega Charge gives him defense, attack, speed, max brave up, and initial brave up. Again, Mega Charge gives him multiple buffs. Make sure to force them off. This is painful for the fact that if the Marilith gets her buffs on, it's going to take you a lot of frickin' time to get it off. Setup I used for this was 8, because if he dodged, his EX actually says that he ignores defense. So he actually could get through Marilith's defense. Vincent is here because he can actually throw off debuffs for his other party members in case they're a bit of a trouble. And we threw Rosa for auras and for her healing capability, and also re-race. It's very useful. Tier 4 is a boss rush. That is legitimately what it is. It is a boss rush. And this whole thing is immune to debuffs. Despite the team setup I have here, Cloud would be useful with paralysis, Terra with her small debuffs, It's not much, but like they can work without it. First round is Kalita Pass. 90% of the time, when he gets his first move, he will use a move called Stone Gaze, or Evil Eye, which inflicts stone. This is impossible to get off unless you dispel it or you kill him. Once you kill him, it's gone for good. He actually goes down fast, so if you could just kill him really fast, 10% of the time, from my knowledge, 10% of the time he actually won't use Evil Eye, and he'll actually just whack you in the face with his stuff. The Chimera Golem. Prish's boss, has a lot of freaking health and has 3 buffs that are framed, which is, speed up, defense up, and a way to near instant change its head mode. That's actually why Cloud is there, and I'll get to that in a second. They're all weak to an element of some sort. You could probably bring some elementalists to this to help burn it down. Oh yeah, and their battle aspects. Culture Blast doesn't have one because he's easy to take. The Golem. He steals Brave, the multi-hit Brave attacks. Bring party members who can withstand it or reduce its attacks altogether. Very useful. Astaroth, easy to take down. It's actually the Astaroth, the Colatoplast, and the Crayclaw that actually go down super fast. The only real threats are your Chimera Golem and Ultima High Seraph. Lieutenant Astaroth goes down easy. Just make sure you don't get broken or else you will die. Crayclaw, I've never had a problem with this thing. It never got the chance to actually HP attack. It's only attacked me twice. High recommendation, before you actually kill it, like if your next move will kill the Crayclaw, I recommend summoning. Because Ultimate High Seraph has a move called the Abnormal Field, which prohibits you from summoning, but the blessings will still remain in effect, which is nice. And when she renews herself, Paranormal Field upgrades to inflict a random status element. It cycles from poison, right down, paralysis. But it will not use paralysis when its HP is above 50. So, once you get to lower 50, prepare yourself for some of your members to get paralysis. It's a low chance sometimes. I've seen, like, an entire thing miss. Take care choosing when to summon, lest summoning be prohibited entirely. Why I recommend summoning on the Crayclaw. It's actually easy to take down once you figure it out. Just prepare to throw on, like, your buffs again, because it does have Holy Jet, which removes stuff. Team setup I used for this was Terra, because she's got good AoE stuff, plus her EX actually can actually, since all the bosses are solo, Terra can do insane damage with her maxed out EX. Brought Penilla to this, because she has good auras, she can keep everyone sped up and alive, and she has a really good EX. Cloud is here because of his Meteor Ran, which helps against one target. This is his stage, technically. And because one of his passives, the Deadly Rush, which helps immensely against the Chimera Golem. Because, max this, and you give Cloud the ability to Dispel. This is useful for him, since this doesn't give you the ability to, like, have to painfully go through that defense. It helps a lot to get through it. That's my usefulness in that. Tier 5 is a mannequin round. As you can tell, lots and lots of mannequins. How do you bring Leviathan so you can slow all of them down? Oh yeah, for all the tiers, I'll get back to that. Tier 1, bring Ifrit, because the Lunatic King Behemoth is weak to fire. Tier 2, bring either Leviathan or Shiva. I personally prefer Leviathan because the speed down is awesome, and one of the bosses is weak to water. Tier 3, I brought Brothers for the extra HP damage. Tier 4, again, bring Brothers because extra HP damage. Tier 5, bring Leviathan for the speed down. Round 1, you go against Kate Sith, Sephir, and Sid. For this, kill Sid as fast as you can. Sid will one-shot you, and you don't want to deal with that. After you kill Sid, I highly recommend killing Kate Sith next, because he can throw on Mock Dance, which actually will heal the party. So kill him next. Sephir barely has any health, plus he does jack crap. Next round you go against Kain and Yang. They're not that bad, honestly. Just make sure you kill them before they use jump or kick. Round 3, you go against Onion Knight, Lightning, and Agrius. Highly recommend you kill either Onion Knight or Agrius first, because Agrius can grant Brave to the party, which will heal them, which I kid you not will heal like 21,600 HP for them. Or you could use Yuffie and use her Gauntlet ability, which basically says that you're not allowed buffs. Here you go. 2 turns of no cheating. Prohibits Brave Restoration, and Brave increase displayed in green digits buffs. So that basically says no to your buffs. If you have that charged by the time you get to this round, use it immediately so that they can't heal and they don't get anything off it. If you do that, kill Onion Knight, kill Agrius, and then kill Lightning. Or kill Lightning, then Agrius. Take whichever of those 2. Round 4 is Ramza and Balthier. It's not bad. Just highly recommend killing Ramza first, because of his buffs. Round 5, the final round, is Locke, Sephiroth, and Auron. Auron's only annoying because of the fact that he'll spam Purgatory, and whenever his Brave is over break, he will use Banishing Blight, which hurts a lot, especially if you have the melee resist down. And past that, he's not that big of a deal. Locke, considering all the stuff he has, I've only seen him do Brave attacks, Mug. He does use Sneak Slash. If he uses Phoenix Ray, there's 2 ways you can counter this. Way number 1 is that you use Yuffie's Gauntlet and make sure everyone has a high enough Brave that they can't heal. Or use Komari's Blind to nullify the miss. Sephiroth, he's surprisingly easy. He has lots of health. It's surprisingly easy. Just make sure you avoid his first strike, because he guarantees Octaslash, which gives him Genova. Set up for this was Lice because of her good auras, and for her battery. Komari because of 3 things. 1, because of bad breath that gives a poison effect. 2, because he's a healer, and he'll become a better healer with LD. And 3, because of his EX Nova, which grants blind when you upgrade it. Then I brought Yuffie because debuffs are really useful to help with the first round. Her steal, you can get some really good stuff, like you can steal Brave off Agrius, the Cheerful Gift off of Kate Sith, or any of those 3. And you can steal Genova from Sephiroth, which helps with the speed down. And Gauntlet just nullifies a lot of stuff. And they're all resistant to magic, so don't bring any magic users. Tier 6. I brought Ifrit to this because one of the bosses in the end is weak to fire. Tier 6, no physical attacks, so don't bring any swordsmen. I did bring Ignis, I'll get to that, okay. First few rounds aren't bad, first 2 rounds. Round 3, the Lunatic Phoenix. It's a pain because A, it revives, and B, of its moves. What is it? Not Magma Wave. Shining Venom, which inflicts Heavenly Wedge. This is an HP sap. Not sap, it's an HP drain. So, if you bring someone with debuff immunity, such as Ignis or Lena, you can actually completely nullify this. Round 3 is just these guys. Round 4, highly recommend killing the Mother Weed as fast as you can. So that way, it'll barely throw up its photosynthesis, which grants it HP regen and raises its speed. 5th round, you go against the Giant Malaboru from Cryol's event, and then the Ultima weapon. Highly recommend you kill Malaboru, so in case like your debuff immunity goes away, this could insanely mess with you. Ultima weapon, freeze from Setzer health because of his Flare Star. What is it? Colossal enemy draw, because that physical and damage resistance, magic damage resistance kind of sucks. I also brought Ifrit because of his attack up thing. Team setup for this, I brought Emperor because of all of his traps. They really help with getting some DPS through without wasting too many turns. Should probably throw on the passives I got for them. Setzer because of red card delay, and if it's freeze, and Ignis for healing and battery, and also for debuff immunity. Alright, tier 7 is only 3 rounds, but don't rest because it's 3 rounds. This is not a fun 3 rounds. Bring Leviathan, because even though none of them are really weak to the Leviathan, the speed down is going to help you. Round 1 is just the imps and the wasp. I recommend killing the bee first, because of, what is it? Sting, because that inflicts... It's either sting or stab, because he actually has an HP drain. The imps, just don't get confused. You can actually kill those before they get a turn. Round 2 is Rosal's boss, the Crust Beetle. It's not fun in the slightest. It has a really good amount of debuffs, actually. It's got Initial Brave down, Attack down. What else does it have? It's got some other things, like Firmhorn with Poison and Initial Brave. What's so annoying about this is when it uses Hatred Power, it'll remove all the buffs, including frames, and raises all this stuff. And you can't let it settle down until it uses, what is it? This move that it uses? It's Crust Disaster. It's just hits hard. I don't know if any of the other previous bosses had a, oh wait, I should probably check for that. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oops, no, don't want to use that. Malaboro. Yeah, they don't have anything yet. I don't know why the others do when this doesn't, but yeah. Crust Beetles just they're weak to Holy. That's why Yuri's here, because of his Holy enchant. This guy, this behemoth, is a pain in hell. Because while he's quadrupedal, he doesn't do anything really. But once he stands, this is when things go to hell. So he goes on 2 legs. He will restore all of his HP, which you roughly have to take about a quarter of it. Remove all of the debuffs, including frames, and he'll raise his attack and defense. Bipedal, watch out for Reaper and Faga. Reaper, Faga, and Sunder. These hurt. Reaper inflicts like an 80% attack down. I was literally doing ones. Faga will inflict Fog. This will nullify any ability usages, which is good on paper, but that only leaves you with Brave and HP. You can't use C65, EX, first skill, second skill, none of those. Only Brave and HP. And then Sunder will put a max Brave down and defense down, which is like 10 frickin' turns or something. Yeah, this thing is a pain to deal with. Team setup I brought to this was Zac, because he can throw it, he can make sure everything focuses him. He's got a pretty good HP regen, and also because of the fact that he has a really good EX plus. I then brought Golbez for DPS, because he's really good with his triple meteor, or the W meter, which is what that should be called. And then we brought Yuri, because healing capabilities, Brave Shaving, and the Holy to deal with the Crust Beetles. Alright, final tier, which is tier 8. As of the moment, we will get more in the future. I highly recommend bringing Shiva to this, despite the fact of what the setup is. I highly bring Shiva. Reason being, the attack up and the race speed up when you use your Brave. This is yet another boss rush, but it's a lot worse. It's 4 rounds instead of the 5 from tier 4. Alright, first round, you go against 2 Hamadadas. Also, these guys completely resist range. Arneus here, I'll explain that in a minute. You go against 2 of these guys. 1 was fine, 2 was way too much. Joke not intended. Reason being, because of this move, the Habada Breath. It delays you to 5 turns, and if they use their plus, inflicts speed down. If you get hit by this, especially if it's someone like your DPS or your support, well, hope you have the frickin' TARDIS from Doctor Who, because you're gonna have to go back to 1890 and frickin' get them, because it feels like it sent them off the turn rate. And they just apparently love to attack, but they're not too big of a deal. Let's see here. Round 2. I must say this right now. This is what you've called hell. You remember these guys? The elemental behemoths from Realms Back? They're back with vengeance. And power of hell. Here's their thing. They resist everything. You see that? Everything. Range, physical, magic. Resist everything. And all of them are immune to step and speed down, but I never acknowledged that. Because it wasn't necessary. But they have an elemental change, which changes them from blue to green to red to yellow. Blue is weak to fire, green is weak to lightning, red is weak to ice, and yellow is weak to wind. So, how do you combat these guys? You bring basically an Imperiler / Enchanter such as Lulu, who's really good. Because, here's the thing, when they are in blue form, you can actually instantly stop them for at least 3 to 5 turns and actually get a lot of damage. I've managed, somehow, through the red form, to actually get through that without using Shiva. Highly recommend Shiva for that reason, is that when they turn red, you can summon, and then you can take the point of their weakness, just prepare to sit through, like, 4 text things just saying, oh, they can't use their elemental change, and they stop doing it. But these guys kind of hurt, because they've got some good stuff. Cross Elemental, it's not fun. Bark Blow, this hurts because of their melee Brave plus HP attack. That will literally kill someone if they don't have enough Brave. Or HP for that matter. The next round, it's an Ochu. It's not bad. Just kill the main one you'll kill all the smaller ones, and it'll go down really fast, actually. The final round is against Leon's boss, the Celestial, and also the Sandkraken. Highly, highly recommend you kill this guy. Celestial is very HP happy at the beginning because he uses... what was the order I saw him do? It was Celestial Ray, then he does Master Strike, then Saint Spear, and then he'll charge, and then he does Stardust Nail. Stardust Nail is a pain because of how many times it frickin' hits. It's like 10. Kill this guy as fast as you can. Sandkraken, he's annoying because of Sand Flurry, which insanely raises his speed. And of all of his delay stuff. It's not fun to deal with. What I brought to this set was Warrior of Light because of his shield to keep everyone alive with their Brave. Plus, he's got some healing thanks to EX. Aranea, I brought to this because she can throw a lot of things down. Plus, thanks to her delay, she can keep things from attacking. Then I brought Lulu for Imperil and Faraga Fury, which does a lot of damage. It's a pain. Doing all these, it gets you a lot of good stuff. And I mean it. You're gonna need these at some point in time. Anyways, that should about cover it. There's gonna be more FeoDs in the future. When I get to them, probably around the time of Burst, I'll probably go over them and put some more personal opinions. But here's what I've got so far. Tier 1, bring plenty of Brave regeners and HP regeners and kill the bomb as fast as you can. Disarm it. Tier 2, purely use magic and try to bring someone with a bit of an imperil such as Onion Knight and make sure everyone can do insane damage. And bring a tank of some sort to lock. Tier 3, bring a debuffer or dispeller. Make sure you get a lot of good auras. Tier 4, just be prepared to not use any debuffers. Just prepare to rush. You're going to need a lot of damage. Tier 5 is going to have to be, like, really, really comprised. And well thought out if you want to beat all these mannequins. Because sometimes it's a pain to reset that many times. Tier 6, bring someone who's not going to be... Bring someone who can have a 100% debuff immunity. Tier 7, just be prepared to do as much damage as you can. And rage about the amount of times that they keep throwing off your debuffs. And Tier 8, bring an Imperialist. You must bring an Imperialist to win that. But, that'll about do it. So, I hope you enjoyed, and, I will see you when the other FeoDs come out. Peace.